We founded the business back in '95, and in fact, our claim to fame was we designed and purpose-built the first purpose-built store in the industry.
Yeah, so AH Tripp & Son, we've been doing removals for 157 years. We're still family run and we're on the 5th generation.
For many years in self-storage, I used to set up sites and then get them to the point where they were full, and then they would be sold to pension funds. But then it became time for me to do it myself. It was a really scary leap. We remortgaged the house, we spent our life savings doing it. But I wouldn't change it for the world. It's the best thing I've ever done. And it's been fantastic for me, my family. I've got a young family. I've managed to spend loads of time with them. I've seen them grow up. I am not stuck behind a desk 9 to 5 in more of a retail environment anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we was unsure of what to expect when coming into self-storage, and found very soon that 96 units at our previous site wasn't going to be enough, and it just shows how important self-storage is in most people's lives these days.
And we thought, given that it was one of a lot of buildings, the risk wasn't particularly high. We thought, let's give it a go, and we're glad we did. We haven't even started marketing yet. Already there are a couple of people got in touch and have taken units, and we've added to that even before we've actually released any marketing at all.
For our investors, they are very happy to be in this journey with Flexbox, because at the end, once the facilities are fully leased, self-storage brings lots of very stable cash flows.
There are more people generally living in smaller properties, generally with more stuff. So from my perspective, the demand will only grow. I think as more and more people come to use self-storage, become aware of the product, we've seen the demand grow. The vast majority of our customers over the many years we've been operating refer and return and recommend. So yeah, I think the customer base is growing clearly.
Yeah, so within the self-storage industry, I see quite a lot of space still being needed by customers throughout the UK. Houses are getting smaller, and businesses are being started and establishing themselves, so I feel there will be a need for it. What I think will be the real crunch is the quality of the storage and the security that you're able to offer, and the flexible options within that, whether it's the packaging items and other elements you can add to it.
I'd say self-storage is a natural progression for most removal companies. If you've got the space, you should be utilising it this way. It's not really a luxury item, it's more of a necessity. No one's going out their way to get a unit, it's a need. So with that, it's quite a staple facet to your business.
Warehouse today being at 50% occupation in the short time that we've opened it, we've already doubled our turnover from what the warehouse was currently producing. So hopefully within the next, say, 6 months, we aim to be around about 75 to 80% occupancy, and hopefully earning a lot more with that.
What surprised me about the self-storage industry was quite how well supported it is, and how many support industries there are, hanging off it. So there's Cuboid creating the spaces, then there's the security systems, there are the CCTV people, then there's the Self-Storage Association, who never stop emailing me about new conferences that are happening, and you can get really quite into self-storage. There is a lot going on in an industry that I thought was one of the most simple things in the world. Turns out there's a massive load going on in the background that people don't realise because they don't need to, but all that will ever do is increase the quality of the product being offered to people.
So our first customer arrived after completing the fit out on the first week. So we had our first booking 3 days after opening, which was great. It was a gentleman called Neville and his wife, and they came and they were so impressed and pleased with how helpful we were. They actually gave us a bottle of Prosecco. Yeah, so we're saving the bottle of Prosecco until we reach 50 customers, which we're heading towards now. So not long and we'll be opening it and celebrating.